Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a honor to meet you here in Virtual Symposium, the 5th ASEAN Education Symposium 2020. Before we begin, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Ulfi Faizah, and my team are Professor Anna Permanasari and Professor Nuryani Rustaman. We are from Science Education School of Postgraduates, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. In this opportunity, we would like to present our research with title How Lecturers and Students Adapted to Online Learning During COVID-19 Pandemic Era, a case study in Department of Biology, Universitas Negeri, Surabaya. As most of the countries in the world encountered the COVID-19 pandemic, Indonesia government now is applying learning from home policy by implementing online learning. In addition, lecturer and student must be able to adapt well. The adaptation can be embodiment of the adult learning process or andragogy and the application of Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, as we know, freedom learning and freedom campus policy. This case study research aims to describe how lecturer and student in the biology department of Universitas Negeri Surabaya, UNESA, adapted to the implementation of online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. In our method, the research time March until April 2020. It was an initial period of implementing online learning activities. Our instrument, we use rapid survey distributing questionnaire through Google Form. Our respondent, there were 32 lecturers and 344 students majoring in biology UNESA, which carry out online learning at home during the COVID-19 pandemic condition. And analysis, we use descriptively, qualitatively. There are results and discussion. The result of this study indicated that in implementing online learning, the respondents have adapted using various alternative online learning media. The most widely used learning management system media was Google Classroom. And the most widely used online application was WhatsApp. Initially, lecturer and student in the biology department were accustomed by using offline learning, but now they had to adapt to carry out online learning. The variety of existing online learning media caused them to have to learn in advance to utilize online learning media. Some study independently, some study together with partners. They will also carry out joint agreement in determining the online learning media that they use in lecturer. The process of learning to operate online media is an embodiment of the adult learning process. It is andragogy. Ladies and gentlemen, in figure 1, we can see about teaching material used in the lecture material online. Lecturer and student choose the lecture material online provided in inserted into learning application. For the implementation of online learning in lecturer activities, the adaptation lecturer and student carry out were following instruction from the Ministry of Education and the Counselor of UNESA related to the implementation of online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. And figure 2, it is about the profile of practical research in online courses. Lecturer and student choose replace with other assignment about the practicum courses. There were allowed practicum activities replaced with other assignments. This result indicates that lectures with practical activities are quite difficult to do online, so that this activity, according to many respondents, is devoted to other activities or tasks. In figure 3, we can see about assessment and online courses. We can see here lecture thing the suitability of answer or invoice from the assignment, but student think the student activeness when online lecturer is most assessment by lecture. From the figure 3, important assessment factors between lecturer and student have different perception. Students assume the assessment of activity is more valued than the suitability of the answer. It must take some communication and clarification between them, so it will be making the same perception. From figure 4, we can see about the COVID pandemic life skill in online lecturer. There are 4 types about life skill, and the most used is the message about clean and healthy behavior inserted in the online lecture. The message about clean and healthy behavior inserted in the online lecture were popular to take in courses. Important life skills are given in lecture during the COVID-19 pandemic condition like this, so the lecture become meaningful. This research shows that the life skills have been given in several ways. Ladies and gentlemen, in the figure 5, it is about the common online technical difficulties encountered by students. Lecturer and student have same perception about the internet quota limitation. The internet quota limitation was big problem. Following this up, UNESA had issued a circular about internet quota assistance for students who need to have their lectures run smoothly. And figure 6 about the non-technical problem experienced by students. Lectures think students have difficult about the limited of a practicum tool, but the student they thought the limited ability to understand the material being taught online. The research indicates that it turned out the biggest non-technical problem for students when learning online was many of the students didn't understand the material provided in online learning. Our expectation, andragogy students will adapt along with time. The more often students carry out online learning and they will become accustomed to, and it will be easier to understand the material presented. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue about research and discussion. Related to adaptation to the implementation of the Freedom Learning, Freedom Campus program, the result of this study showed that in the situation of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was necessary to implement an independent learning program. By implementing online learning, lecturer and student could implement independent in learning and free online browsing. The response of the study was 72% of lecturers and 56% of students responded positively to the implementation of online learning because they got benefit from increased digital literacy or ICT skill. This positive response showed that lecturer and student can adapt well to the implementation of online learning in the COVID-19 pandemic condition. And the last about conclusion. Our conclusion, the lecturer and student of the Department of Biology, Universitas Negeri Surabaya, in conducting online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic, adapted to learning with andragogy learning and carry out learning according to the Indonesian government order about implementing learning in an emergency of COVID-19 deployment following the policy of freedom learning and freedom campus. Thank you very much for your great attention, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.